Championship this past season. They didn't perform well at the World Championship, but they are doing well enough to potentially position themselves in a spot where maybe they can make a run in the regional championship.
Oh, Violent Panda with more action, firing right out of the gate here. Dignitas looking for goals in the beginning of game number 1. Now Farrell with the dribble play sends it to the goal, and Violent Panda's got it away on the retreating defense. Chaussette with the attempt to set up Fruity, but Astral will shut him down, and these guys come out swinging on both sides at the very beginning of this game. Right now with 4 teams at 5-3 in Europe, every game matters here for Reciprocity. If they get the sweep, they will be able to clinch a top 4 berth, but if the unlikely situation that happens, then we'll be in a situation where it's how many games are they able to win. They want to win 3-1. Otherwise, we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, Dignitas, they need to win for a shot at number 1. We are through the first minute. We slow down a little bit, but the action continues here. Fruity with a shot, looks for the double tap on the clear, and now Chaussette backing up, leaves it for Farah. Violent Panda will press it back to midfield. Chaussette through 1, down into the ground. He tried to push it across the box, but the defense in the corner is solid from Reciprocity, and now it's their turn on offense.
Already we've seen some good chances from Reciprocity. Chaussette playing well. He faked out the defense of Dignitas a little bit, opening up a chance for Reciprocity. Now he's on the hunt, getting denied by Yukio, but another chance, and Reciprocity looking good early.
Yeah, the defense in particular has been very strong. They're getting pressured some more. Chaussette sends it again, and Astral once more gets in the way and blocks the second follow-up pass. He's been getting consecutive excellent touches, which is not something that usually is a consistency in Rocket League. Just getting the 1 touch is the hard part. Fair off the wall. Yukio, shot on target. Chaussette's got it to the corner. Violent Panda now with the pass and onto the backboard. Chaussette has a response. Yukio passing, Violent Panda up to shoot, but blocked once more. Now here comes Yukio. Farah reads him, gets in the air, gets the flip, and blocks it off to the corner once more. We're already halfway into the game. We have 11 shots. Is this one finally in? It is finally. Dignitas breaks through the goal line defense, and they get the first goal.
And Astral, he has to beat Chaussette. You see Chaussette pre-jumping, expecting a hard shot from Astral, potentially going high, but Astral has that low shot behind him. Chaussette completely out of the play. Once he pre-jumps, Astral had him. And that was a good finish.
Dignitas scoring first. Reciprocity now looking to respond. This one down onto Chaussette's hood, sends it on target. Astral nearly makes it up in time, but no, Chaussette's shot is excellent, and we're tied up.
Chaussette doing well to hit his mark. Yukio coming out. Astral expecting Yukio to get a touch on that one, but Chaussette was too fast.
Right across halftime. Those 2 strong teams in Europe playing well on both sides of the ball. Violent Panda with a small touch to put it past Fruity, and Astral looking for the bump on Chaussette. Yukio sent it to the corners. Chaussette on the retreat. Gets tangled up with him. Now Fruity setting it for Farah. He has it into the corner, lands awkwardly though and gets spun around. Now high on the wall, he's going to have to adjust as Yukio's got control. Just a few feet off that wall. Chaussette versus Astral. Astral keeps it snug against the side panel. Farah now through. Yukio over the top of 1. Farah's got to adjust, keeps it in the box. Yukio looks for Farah, but Fruity in the front line gets the block on the shot. Now Chaussette off the ceiling. 30 boost to work with, but he's lost control. Farah into this corner, has to read Yukio, who takes it up onto the wall and controls it into the air. Violent Panda falls back as we see Yukio over the top of Fruity. Farah will get the ball away from Yukio's hands, but Astral quickly closes that gap and drops it back down to the box. A demolition onto Yukio means they'll strengthen the Dignitas back line as Fruity and Farah try to advance forward. They get it past them, and oh, they team up! They pinch it. I don't really know what you call this. It's kind of like a pool shot. Crazy goal to take the lead.
Farah is just waiting for Fruity, and it's a little handoff, and yeah, it was a pool shot. A handoff pool shot goal. Farah gets the flick as well on top of it. And you don't see a goal like that too many times.
Well, these teams inventing new ways to play Rocket League still in Season 9. Violent Panda gets it away, but the follow from Astral, just as we see Reciprocity take the lead, or Dignitas take the lead, rather. Reciprocity ties it right back up.
It looked like Panda might have gotten the flip reset dunk, and Astral comes in yet again. He has been so accurate with his shooting. Gets another goal here immediately on kickoff. So both goals that we've seen in this game from either side immediately getting responded to just seconds later after kickoff. We're back equal.
Kickoff prowess from both teams showing its colors here. Astral on the wall, looking for Yukio. Violent Panda will be the one in the air now off the backboard. Uncontested, Astral looks for the double tap and tries to push it into the box. Yukio had rotated out, called off by his teammates, and then comes in to keep the pressure on. 50 seconds left, 2 goals apiece. Violent Panda passes it down, and Astral will actually pick this up, gives it back to Yukio, looks for the small one, but Chaussette saw the pass coming and blocks it in the midfield. Now Fruity over the top of one. Violent Panda will have this one for free, but Fruity adjusts and clears it laterally. Astral beating one player. Fair now on the dribble. Looks it high. Yukio's got to extend it to his corner. Chaussette will follow him toe-to-toe in the Fennec. Violent Panda now over the top of one. Chaussette adjusts back, and Farah moves in to take over. Got to pass one now, 2. Yukio in the midfield stretches forward just to buy time, and Violent Panda will now pick it up, sends it towards the goal. Chaussette's got the block. Farah picks up his boost. He and Fruity right on top of each other. Now double demolished. It's up to Fruity in the goal as Astral tries to tap it down at a crazy angle. It's not going to work out. Overtime looking likely with 4 seconds left. Here's Violent Panda trying to finish in regulation. Gets the pass. Yukio's there, but it'll get sent to the ground between him and Chaussette, and we'll go to overtime in game 1.
A close call. Astral was going for that high-speed double tap. It was just a little too fast, a little too high on the wall for him to deal with. But we're seeing some good chances from Dignitas. They're getting the distribution out, but now a chance.
Oh.
Fruity with the read. He can't make it. Chaussette doesn't get it on the follow-up. That's got to be devastating for Reciprocity.
And now Reciprocity, or Dignitas rather, will look for the goal on the other side. The counterattack not going to be any good. We'll reset here for a moment, but yes, Reciprocity with multiple excellent opportunities to win this game and finish it off. And the shots go wide. Violent Panda with an attempt now. Yukio back into the blue. Fruity to Chaussette and into the corner. Astral with the attempt. Lofted in enemy territory. Fruity there. Now Farah. Chaussette tries to dribble it. Astral takes it off his head. Fruity all the way in his back corner. We'll get a nice clear. And up onto the wall. Violent Panda reached for it but missed. Yukio understood his teammate was going to miss and left for it as well. Kind of a 1.5 commit. Astral now getting himself the savior medal here in overtime as he's played so well in his own box. Yukio to the corner here. Chaussette and Fruity challenging that ball. Fruity called off at the last moment. Violent Panda gets tangled up on his wall, and there's a bump. Can Violent Panda get there in time? No. Farrell will win this challenge. This is dangerous. Astral's got to play perfect. Gets it back out to Violent Panda. An excellent touch. The teamwork, the constant awareness on the field. Here comes Fruity, though. Oh, and Astral again breaks it up. Violent Panda's there. Dignitas' field awareness and pinpoint mechanic accuracy in the net, keeping them in this game.
That was such a tough save for Astral to be forced to make. And now another chance. He gets another save, but it's on the goal line.
No!
Chaussette!
So close. Fruity up. Yukio misses. Violent Panda misses. And Astral somehow still makes that first save, but the second one is just too much to ask. And Dignitas will lose game 1 there just narrowly to Reciprocity.
And Reciprocity had even a good look before that to end it in overtime, and they weren't able to do it. And this is so important for them to sweep here, because if they 3-0, they will clinch top 4. So every game important for them. They get the win here in overtime, and Chaussette's the one to put it away. We saw a couple chances. Fruity missed that one off the backboard. Chaussette, even on his follow-up shot earlier in overtime, wasn't able to hit his mark. So Reciprocity shrugged that off. They bounced back, and they get the win in game 1.
Yeah, no, there was a defensive story on both sides of the ball with Chaussette and Astral both putting up 5 saves, but Astral saves in particular were monstrous. The stat line looks the same, but it does not tell the same story of how hard they were both having to work. Astral, so many situations where he should not have saved the ball. It was a difficult ask. If he missed it, no one would slight him for missing the shot, but he got, and sometimes multiple saves back to back. Like Astral on the goal line was such a wall, even there at the end, but finally Chaussette able to be the difference maker. His 6 shots turning into 2 goals. And Reciprocity take game number 1. I loved watching this game though, James. I cannot wait to see how we evolve into game 2.
Yeah, some good defensive moments, high-speed offensive plays. That's one thing that Dignitas is really known for. Reciprocity has the ability to do it as well. Just those really high speed plays, double taps, flip resets. It has it. It has it all. These guys are so good at the game, especially Astral, who's looking to get that MVP title. And if he can lead Dignitas back to a win here, perhaps that'll be enough to snag it. But if Reciprocity take him down, that might change the conversation a little bit.
Vilepana with an attempt to shoot the shot. Here's Astral, takes another one. This one just wide and well defended. Yukio's pressure. Dignitas absolutely firing here as it goes back in. Astral won't miss this time. And Dignitas absolute dominating pressure in the first 30 seconds.
They're swarming. A few double commits. Farah even bumping Chaussette out of the way as well. Everyone out of the net from Reciprocity. We even saw it a few times in game one. Some double commits out of Reciprocity. It didn't really come back to haunt them too many times. There were no goals that really resulted directly from it. But now we see one in game two. The double commit into the team bump. Not the prettiest of defensive moments from Reciprocity.
Dignitas. Angry they lost game number one. Using that fury to fuel their efforts here in game two on Neo Tokyo. Yukio gets bounced into this offensive position and decides, heck, let's make use of it. Trump comes down. Astral to Violent Panda. They keep it airborne. There's Yukio looking for Violent Panda on the outside. The pass will be wide of the teammate. Chaussette with Farah shadowing. There's a flick over one and now falling back. He loses control to Yukio. And Farah will take the shot. This one just wide. Violent Panda lofts it. Is Fruity up? He sure is. Here he comes looking for the pass down to Chaussette. Can they find the target? They sure can. Tie game from Reciprocity.
Chaussette, he even led this counterattack with a wonderful flick to kickstart it out of his own half, and then the sustained pressure from Reciprocity, the finish coming out. Chaussette is playing quite nicely for Reciprocity. That flick was a thing of beauty.
It was, and even the shot there, Chaussette, as he gets up, realizes he's moving too fast and flips his car backwards, so he's boosting in against his own momentum to get the shot just soft enough to drop in. A very difficult shot that looked simple. And now pressuring for the lead. Reciprocity are making this game exciting. Yukio now down into the corner. Chaussette will look for Farah. He adjusts, but doesn't understand where the enemy is on the goal line. Astral gets the block. Fruity's up for it and will slam it home. There's the lead for Reciprocity.
And you see Astral, he was floating in place trying to make this block. He got the first one, almost gets the second one, but Fruity pushes it past. And Reciprocity take the lead. They are not backing down to this Dignitas team that scored first.
No, it's wildly exciting to see a team get pressured as hard as Reciprocity got pressured in the first 30 seconds of this game. And then to see them come roaring back and take the lead. Now Chaussette trying to push it through. Astral into the corner. He's got Fruity underneath. Bumps him high, and it's all up to Farah, who gets it out in front of the box. Yukio will run into Chaussette, but Astral looking for Violent Panda. Violent Panda's gone, though. Farah out to Chaussette now as they'll look to transition the pass back to Fruity, who kind of loses control here to Yukio in the corner, but Yukio actually is turning around on boost and won't make the touch. It'll be the rest of his team that gets the long clear.
Fruity wanted to pass that to Chaussette, but Chaussette was rotating back for boost, so it was just a miscommunication there. Fruity ended up giving up possession, but now Reciprocity is right back at it.
Violent Panda over to the far side. Yukio on the top of one. Farah airborne will win the challenge. Astral's got him red. Drops it to Violent Panda. Can they connect? Oh, what a shot. Dead center, upper top shelf, and we're all tied up.
This was a hammer of a shot. Astral, a beautiful pass right to Panda. 89 miles an hour. That I need to calculate what that is in kilometers, but that is as fast as I've ever seen.
143 kilometers per hour.
A heck of a shot.
Heck of a shot. Definitely unsavable, despite it being dead center. But here comes the response. Reciprocity looking to take that lead back. It's 3-1. Violent Panda slow plays it in the midfield. Fruity will actually get to beat two because of the slow play. Kind of plays it a little bit around Yukio, but the rest of his team has to adjust, and Yukio is able to get his bumper around that ball. Now onto the backboard once more. Fruity with the miss. This one will go in. There's the lead for Dignitas.
And a good flick pass from Panda. He sees Chaussette, flicks it by him. It's so tall or high, in fact. Fruity can't even make the read himself. Astral comes in to poke it around him. Panda feeding Astral back, doing him a solid after receiving such a good pass from Astral in the previous goal.
Now Reciprocity playing from behind again. Can they bring it back? Yukio takes to the air, looks to jackhammer it down, gets it through. They're up by 2.
Everyone's going for a highlight play this game. Panda again with the back pass out. Sets up Yukio for this dazzling double tap. And I didn't even catch that pass out from Panda at first until the replay. And that was such a well-aimed pass. Dignitas, they are looking ferocious.
Dignitas absolutely scored 4 goals here after narrowly dropping game 1. They're looking to run away with game 2. But we still have 1:20 left to go. We've had 6 goals, and it's not been on many defensive mistakes. This has just been absolute offensive power from both sides. Violent Panda with a long touch. There's Fruity.
That's the most fun game to watch. You know, where the defenses aren't collapsing. You've got the offenses looking for these passes, these shots that are unblockable. An 89-mile-an-hour shot, 143 kilometers. You don't see shots like that, and now another shot coming in narrowly missing. But this has been a blast to watch so far.
There's Fruity out to Farah. Trying to work together to get out of the corner. Yukio gets it off the crossbar. Here's Astral up for it. He's not going to miss, and that's up by 3 now. Dignitas are taking control of this series.
Yukio letting Astral get his hat trick here. The shot just off the crossbar, bounces out. Astral won't have any trouble putting that one away. And Dignitas are sailing to a win. And that is a pretty convincing win indeed. Dignitas going for highlight reel plays again and again.
Yeah, and this is the sort of game where oftentimes it'd be like, okay, so at this point, James, like, what does this team need to do? But I kind of really just want to keep watching what happens because every moment's been so exciting and so spectacular in its own way. Astral will look for Yukio. Can we have one more firework before we move on to game 3? As the teams are slowing down, looks like both teams may be opting to burn the clock down. Now, I would also say, usually in this situation, the question would be, what does Reciprocity need to do differently? But I don't feel like this game, while the scoreboard maybe looks like it got out of hand, and it did to the end become like, okay, we can't come back from this. There wasn't any particular weakness I saw, James Bott, that I feel like Reciprocity needs to adjust heading into game 3.
Maybe just try to play a little bit closer defense in the midfield, not allow those flicks. We saw Panda got that flick by the defense by Chaussette. Fruity wasn't able to make the read off the backboard, but it's a tough thing to do. Dignitas is playing so fast, they're moving the ball so well that it's tough, and you get stuck in that, and you have to kind of wait and see what they throw at you. And we've seen multiple good passes. That pass from Astral off the ceiling to Panda to set up that blistering shot was spectacular. And then Panda on the back wall again, passing that out to Yukio, who hits a crazy double tap. Some of these shots you just can't defend. Dignitas is playing just so well right now.
Yeah, no, I think that is the thing that makes that shot we've come back to multiple times about how fast it was. It was dead center at the crossbar. Most RLCS defenders can defend that shot as long as it's at a reasonable speed. At 143 kilometers per hour, that's almost unsavable. And I kind of, as much as I agree with you that maybe tightening up the midfield is the answer here for Reciprocity, I don't want them to, because it'll make the game a lot more stale, a lot more slow. I want them to keep on just flying at everything here. I love that they're given the space, and it is the difference between the top caliber teams and the next level of teams in RLCS is those passes off the wall that are just right onto the teammates' hoods. Cannot wait to see what we get in game number 3, James.
Me either, and I think we'll get more of the same. Dignitas, they've got all the pieces right now, and Reciprocity hasn't been playing bad either.
Oh, speaking of which, the tight pass to get it around the defender, and Fruity crashes the box and scores the first goal.
We saw the demo at midfield, and Yukio was trying to defend against this play. He still couldn't stop it. Fruity in the perfect position to finish that one off. Farah, great pass as well. And this has been a battle of titans, really, on offense.
Yeah,
and now
there's an open goal
for Astral.
They're going to tie it right back up.
And I like the little air shimmy after Astral was retreating. Sees Chaussette, knows he just has to get some height. And Astral tying this one up for Dignitas. We've seen this so much in this series where a team will score and then immediately answered up. So we'll see if Dignitas can extend their lead like they did last game, or if Reciprocity will battle back into this one.
Yeah, the kickoff plays have been excellent this series. As Fruity tries to push it into the midfield, gets 2 offenders out of it. And here comes Chaussette. Yukio demolished in his own back third. Fruity is threatening in the midfield, but the fact of the matter is Violent Panda and Yukio keep it high to the ceiling. Fair now stretches out to Chaussette, who will try to give it back to the team captain. Violent Panda up for an interception. Pushes it back off the wall. Yukio drops it to Astral. They'll push into the blue. Dignitas going to get on offense here. Fruity tries to stretch after this one. Actually misses the ball, and it kind of puts Violent Panda out of position, but Farah now demolished. This will free up some shots from Fruity and Chaussette just to be aggressive, knowing Farah spawns all the way back on that back third. Astral's up now onto the backboard, looking for the double tap. Chaussette is up to threaten him off of it, and now Farah, he'll look for a counterattack.
And just a little bit before that, Chaussette had missed his shot. That was an excellent goal-scoring opportunity. He had Yukio dead to rights on that play, but his shot was just high. So Chaussette missing out on that chance. See if that comes back to haunt Reciprocity.
Yukio struggles here in the corner. Farah get onto the wall. Violent Panda's up. Beats Farah. Chaussette now into the midfield. Around the far side. Actually a miss, and this will open up so much space. Yukio gives it back, but it's behind Astral, so kind of failed contact answered with another consequential failed contact. Here's Astral down off the backboard. Try and carry this one out. He's burning a lot of boost, and his teammates are in decent positions, so more just an expenditure of resources than anything else. Farah, the top of one. Now down in the midfield, here's Fruity up against Astral. Astral has it read from a ways away. We'll approach halftime here, tied up at 1 game apiece and 1 goal apiece in the final series for both these teams of Season 9's league play.
And we said Reciprocity could have clinched top 4 with a 3-0. Obviously, that didn't happen, so now they're going to just try to make the best game differential possible for them as the rest of these games get played out on the final day of league play. Dignitas again fighting for that #1 spot in league play.
A win here would give them their best chance at getting the #1 spot. And they are fighting like a team that is the best in Europe. Violent Panda here in his own box. Punts it high and follows up himself. Over 1 player. Fruity.
That was well done.
Trying to pick it
by
up.
Panda.
Neutral contact down.
He was only on 10 boost when he was making that play. He had to time it perfectly, and he did so with defensive plays from the captain of the team.
Fruity, Farah actually will do it himself as it drops down. I think Fruity was where all the attention was. The defenders thought they had more time. They didn't realize Farah rotated back around so quickly.
And Astral, you saw him in net. He didn't have any boost whatsoever. So that was the worst kind of bounce to have to deal with on 0. And Reciprocity take the lead late.
1:30 left to go. Reciprocity looking to take the lead in the series with a win here in Manfield. It's Fruity up against 1. Violent Panda into the side, and Yukio follows along with the ball. Wheel to wheel, there's Astral. Up and onto the backboard. Yukio looks for it, a miss on the backboard. He wasn't actually ready for it. And Violent Panda gets a free shot and misses. Fruity in the corner is now threatening Yukio. They keep the pressure on for now, but that's 2 open nets completely gone. And now the counterattack for Reciprocity. They've already got the lead. Dignitas cannot afford to miss shots.
Dignitas, they just lost. They lost where the other team was. The net was wide open. Astral could have slowed down and tapped that one in. And then we saw the other miss as well. So that was a blatant scoring opportunity that just has gone by the wayside. That's got to feel bad for Dignitas, but they're still on it, and that one almost sneaks by.
Chaussette gets it, and now it's out to Farah. What a clear all the way down the field. And the ones that are free, they miss. The ones that are good are defended, but finally Yukio makes it through on the goal line. We're tied back up at 2 apiece.
And it was an excellent decision from Astral to keep boosting. Didn't even use his jump, just kept boosting, went for the 50-50. And the 50-50 bounced out to Yukio, and another well-placed shot. Yukio's shooting has been on point in this series.
20 seconds left. We had overtime. Game number 1. Do we go there again here in game 3? Astral falling back into his own half. 10 seconds left. Pushes into the midfield. Farah to the edge. Violent Panda's going to follow this one and leaves it. Looks for second touch on Chaussette. Lofted with no time. Farah down to Fruity. He tries to adjust. Keeps in the air. Yukio and Violent Panda out of their own back corner are going to try for the buzzer beater. Chaussette will play it over the top of 2. He's had enough of that one. Into overtime we go. Next goal gets match point.
And that was very well handled by Chaussette. He had 2 players and off the kickoff. On the goal line. Unreal.
Oh, the posts undefeated in RLCS. The stalwart defenders. It bounces off of both of them and kills any inward momentum. Oh my goodness. What a stop.
And now we just witnessed full punch.
That was the closest I've ever seen a team come to losing a game and still stay alive, but it'll be all for naught if they can't get this out of their half. The ball has been in the back third of Dignitas for so long. All set now. Plays underneath 1. Looks for the block on 2, but no, Astral's got this. Now Astral with the chase. Violent Panda in front of the box. Here comes the clear. Yukio to turn back around. An exciting first 45 seconds of overtime. Dignitas yet to really have a good look at the net. Yukio with a dribble on 2. Gets bumped from underneath and will lose control. Violent Panda now towards the box. Head of Astral, no pass. Yukio now looking for Violent Panda, but Chaussette's there, and a bump on Astral paves the way, and it's in. Chaussette's shot is finally good, and they've won 2 overtimes.
And this was a brilliant bump by Fruity on Astral. Fruity gets in the way. Astral can't get back in time, and Chaussette puts it bar down. And that is what you expect. The classic Reciprocity play. Sick Fruity on. Sick him on the last defender. Paved the way for Chaussette, and that's how they get the win.
What a performance. And the luck of the posts not going to actually be relevant in the end.
Well, I mean, if you're Reciprocity, you're pretty happy that you managed to get that win, especially after the goal line debacle.
Yeah, man, there was so, oh man, and you, if you're Dignitas, you're going back to those goals you missed with Violent Panda and Astral that were wide open. And to be fair, they eventually they did score like 30 seconds later, but still, you got to think, like, would things have been different had we had the extra time there at the end of regulation? I really loved and admired Dignitas's effort at 0 seconds. The ball is in their corner. Most players would just say, like, let's just kill it, let's not try. But no, they go for the passes in the midfield. They look for the full court buzzer beater, and they nearly got it a good opportunity, but they've scared Chaussette into overtime. Reciprocity are able to take this one in overtime, but man, it was close.
It was certainly close. And Chaussette, again, on the backboard in overtime, that was a tough clear for him to make. Not only did he have to catch and control the ball, but he had to clear it to where no one from Dignitas could keep it up and going. And he had 2 players, I think it was Yukio and Astral, who were waiting for that ball to get hit. But Chaussette hit it well, got to the ground, got overtime. And then we saw multiple chances for Reciprocity in overtime, eventually finished off from the aggression from that Fruity bump and the shot from Chaussette. Reciprocity is playing quite well. I've been impressed with them in this series.
Yeah, for sure, especially in overtimes. We've gone to 2 overtimes, and Chaussette's finished them both off. And being able to win overtimes, huge tool to have in your arsenal. Farah through the air, goes to the slow play. Yukio reads it, and now Fruity comes in with a follow-up shot. Astral needs 2 touches to get it out of the net, but it is good. And now he'll look for the transition. Up against Fruity here, pinched in the midfield for Violent Panda. Just takes the shot, but it's high. Farah out of the net with it, though. And now Yukio up against 2 defenders. As it drops down, he'll look for the pass. Just goes for the shot, gets them both to bite, but the touch is just high enough. No one else from Dignitas can follow back in. They're still pressuring, though. Here comes Yukio, and this one is good. My goodness, Dignitas at the start of game, so deadly.
A gorgeous pass from Astral. Look how lightly he hits it. Just enough to get it past Chaussette, but not too far to where Yukio can't get a quality shot. That was such a beautiful finesse play from Astral. And again, Yukio's finishing is just wonderful.
Dignitas, it's such a great way to bounce back, too. They got pretty suffocated in that Game 3 overtime. So to get the early goal, break up any momentum that's been building. Astral with the half flip flick and followed up by a second touch to get it over one defender. He'll lose control, but still the immaculate car control. See now has Yukio in support. He gets the demolition, paves the way, and Astral just dumps it into the net. That's 2 up for Dignitas.
Some revenge on Chaussette for that overtime goal. Astral holding on to the ball, buying time for Yukio to get downfield to go for the demo. And Dignitas extend their lead. They're looking good in Game 4.
3:51 just across the 1-minute mark, and already Dignitas have gotten 2. They had a decent lead in Game 3. Reciprocity were able to drown. Can they do it again here? It's over to Fruity. Sends it high, fair with the chase, but he'll get beat by Astral. Off the ceiling, looks like maybe he got the flip reset, looks for the shot, and Chaussette gets in his way. Now Fruity up, threatening the defenders to, threatening the shot to have to make a read. Violent Panda across. And all 3 players from Reciprocity were crowding this ball. They'll space back out, but Chaussette was there to make contact, and he doesn't have any boost, so that one contact will be all he does. Now Farah to the corner, looking for Fruity, lofted high. Here comes Chaussette. Farah with an adjustment. Violent Panda onto the wall. Traps this one underneath the challenge from the defense. Now Farah back up to midfield. Fruity's in position, tries to drop it onto Chaussette's hood, but the pass is just a little bit off. Now Chaussette trying to block Astral as he challenges high near the ceiling. There's a little drop onto Yukio's hood. He pushes it into the corner. Now looks for the shot himself, defended by Farah. Right at halftime has a savior medal.
Now double commit. Chaussette's going to have to race back. That shot floats behind him. No chance for Chaussette. This double commit put him in a terrible situation. He's got less than half his boost. Tries to block the hard shot, but again, we see the finesse coming out of Dignitas. And that shot just going to leak right behind him. That's Yukio's second.
Now up by 3 at halftime. Dignitas completely unfazed by the end of Game 3. Here in Game 4. Bouncing back and getting out to the largest lead we've seen yet this series as it drops in. Can they make it 4? It just drops off the crossbar and back down in the now. Astral will look for the soft touch, and there's Violent Panda to finish it. 4-0 for Dignitas.
And even the shots Yukio misses, he shoots it so well, it throws the defense into chaos. Astral, he didn't make contact on that ball, but it was good because Panda was ready and waiting for that shot. 4-0. Dignitas are stomping Reciprocity in Game 4.
2:07, and it's looking like Game 5 is inevitable here, James Bott. Fruity takes it up high. Now Chaussette back out. Farah with the chase. Violent Panda in his corners. Farah bounces it off of his hood. Just getting any goal. Trying to kind of get things a little back on your side as this game has gotten out of hand. The name of the game for Reciprocity. So far, Reciprocity has won the nail-biting close games in overtime. And Dignitas has won by blowouts. As they put in another one, they've scored 5 goals in both games 2 and 4. As they won game 2, they'll probably win game 4. It'd be insane if they didn't.
This is about as one-sided as it gets. Chaussette, he was shocked that Panda went for net there. And it was a tough angle. Panda, you don't see too many shots from that area. And Chaussette even taken by surprise. And Dignitas, this is an incredible performance from them offensively, keeping Reciprocity to 0 while putting in some quality goals.
Especially after narrowly losing game 3, to bounce back like this. I mean, it just speaks dividends of how strong this team is mentally, on top of how strong they are mechanically. The thing that we've been saying this season, finally Farrell will put one in and get the scoring started, but the field awareness from Dignitas this season has just been better than maybe any team in either region.
It has been, and a lot of that I think is due to Astral. Farah obviously getting a good goal there. Little finesse shot as well from him after Yukio popped that straight up. But Astral uses those mechanics to go for the pass, and that's why I think Panda's been so, and also Yukio has had such a good scoring season, is because of the passing ability of Astral.
Astral has been huge. European MVP frontrunner right now. A demolition could pave the way, but Violent Panda's there. Out to Yukio. And Fruity now with a shot to the upper 90, just wide of the corner. 39 seconds left. Get played out, and now Chaussette to the corner. 30 seconds remaining. Dignitas has tightened up their midfield game significantly. The extended stays on offense from Reciprocity that we saw in all 3 of the first games in the series. I can't remember a single moment in this game where they were in enemy territory for more than 5 seconds. This one kind of being one of the longest ones we've seen. Fruity sends it to the edge. Bear will try to play it back down, but the game is over. We will be going to game 5. Do they get one for the road? No, off the crossbar. Fruity's up for it. That one's not good either, and Bear just enough boost to try and get one last shot in. It will end here as soon as they allow it to touch the ground. But game 5 inbound, I feel like for Reciprocity, the name of the game is just like not double committing is one thing. We saw a few goals go in on those double commits, James, and then maybe tightening up that midfield, kind of like you talked about before. But if the pattern continues, we should have a wonderfully exciting overtime game here in game 5.
Yeah, we're going to need to see something from Reciprocity in the midfield. You're right, Wave, because we saw just too many chances. One challenges, setups, the double commits. It was rough there for Reciprocity in game 4, but it's Dignitas that's forcing these mistakes due to their high-speed gameplay. They're playing with such speed and also intelligence. You see them leaving the ball for one another. The communication is there. Dignitas all around a fantastic game 4, and if they play like that in game 5, it is going to be tough for Reciprocity to have an answer.
I mean, it's been tough for both teams. Even in this game where Dignitas kind of got out and just stomped Reciprocity, it wasn't a one side. It wasn't like they were completely outclassed. It was just moments of brilliance, excellent shots, a few mistakes that were all punished. The 5-goal scoreline becomes pretty quick when you have 2 mistakes and then 3 excellent shots. So I feel like Reciprocity absolutely is going to be coming back with a fire. And again, this is a team that's been together for so long. They are used to bouncing back in series. Reverse sweeps have been completely synonymous with this roster for so many seasons. And not that they're in this situation, but they have to get in game 5, having to play in this environment. I can absolutely put my faith in Reciprocity that they are going to give Dignitas a run for their money.
They certainly are. I think they got that monkey off their back a long time ago with the reverse sweeps. These guys, they're pros, and like you said, they have been together for a long time. Getting that DreamHack title together, they've been through all the ups, all the downs, and now their will's going to be tested here against Dignitas, who's looking to be #1 in Europe.
All right, making the attempt. If they get the win here, they'll have a chance at #1. Reciprocity's hopes at top 4 are a bit rough. Especially if they lose, I think they don't have a chance. And if they win, they really needed as good of a game differential as they can get. Now in game 5, that's not going to happen. But still, such an important series for the standings for Dignitas and also just in general in Rocket League. These teams will have to clash most likely again in the playoffs next week.
And I think that's big for confidence, especially for Reciprocity, who came in expecting to be at the top of the ladder. And that has not been the case. They've struggled at times this season. The offense not there. Chaussette's been quiet. So this could be a big confidence boost for Reciprocity going into the regional championship if they can take down this red-hot Dignitas team.
3:42 left to go in our final game between these teams. Into the corner, Violent Panda. Use the side wall. Played himself now lofted in the midfield. Yukio at the top of one. Fruity will adjust to pick up control. An awkward bounce will actually give Yukio another opportunity, but he gets the bump on Astral. Here comes Violent Panda in. And now Astral a little bit out of position after being harassed in the midfield. Chaussette with a full tank of boost. Looks for the flip reset. This takes the shot. The bumps were good, but Astral still comes in. Followed that shot all the way back around the side of the field. And now going for the counterattack himself. Fruity will play it off the backboard, but Dignitas threatening now.
Not only does Astral get that save, he immediately starts the counterattack. Got that flip reset to get the ball's trajectory on target and almost even got the bump in the air. That would have been one of the most spectacular plays that I've ever seen. It was so close. And now Yukio saves it. Chaussette denied, but a double commit as you saw Panda dive into it, you can see that Dignitas is scrambling.
Astral here in the corner. All three players from Dignitas tight in their own corner. This one's lofted high. Violent Panda's going to stretch for it. Nobody else from Reciprocity there. They should be okay as Yukio now moves into the corner. Falls back, respecting Fruity's position. He'll get 2 touches to push it into the midfield. Violent Panda's got a stretch to drop it to Astral in the corner. Astral with a miss. Now Fruity putting the pressure on. Chaussette into the box. Astral back out, and Yukio's up. Can he double tap? It doesn't make contact. Fruity out to the edge, and Chaussette will chase him down. It's 2 touches. Lofted in arguably the most dead spot on the map. Chaussette now off the ceiling. Flip reset. Made use. Now back in. Here's Farah. The demolition on the goalie. Can he get it all the way through? 2 demolitions. The goal should be open for Fruity, who sends it far. Post and in. Excellent placement to block it from the respawn to get it all the way through. And Reciprocity's up.
I mean, you got Chaussette taking out 2 players. You'd hope that Fruity could put that shot in. It was a tough shot, too. But he puts it far post. Well placed to beat out Panda, who was sitting near post. And again, it's the aggression that makes the difference for Reciprocity. We saw it in overtime. We see it again here.
Violent Panda actually got some help as he had to move into the corner in that direction off the first shot. As Astral spawned in, Violent Panda bounced off him to go back towards the goal. So Farah's placement super important. As Violent Panda actually probably could have reached most of the rest of the net. Could he have adjusted to the top bar? Not quite sure, but still, Reciprocity, they've got everything they need here in game number 5 to take the win. Can they hold on to it as Farah looks for a second shot, bounces it off the ground, a pinch out of net, rockets this ball into the midfield. Astral now up against Chaussette. He'll take it away, takes to the air. He's got it up against Violent Panda now into the corner. Violent Panda will try to fall back down. It's bounced over his head. Here's Farah for the shot, and Astral gets in his way. Rudy in the corner will try to take control, but now has to fall back as Violent Panda keeps it high above the ground. Now Astral with the stretch over the top of one into a corner. Violent Panda to the backboard. Chaussette out to Fruity. They've caught the defense a little bit out. Astral adjusts. Fruity couldn't quite get the shot to the upper 90. 30 seconds left. Are Dignitas done, or do they light it back up and tie up the series? There's a flick over one. Yukio up, but Chaussette's airborne. Astral on the goal line's going to have to make another stop. Fruity to the edge. Violent Panda now onto the backboard. Farah's there. Astral adjusts. Nice pass in. Violent Panda's there, but Chaussette wins the challenge. The midfield for Reciprocity, where they have struggled in multiple games, starting to be strong and could win them this series. Farah with the flick. Lofted in the midfield. Astral's up, but Chaussette will win it. Winning the challenges in the midfield, blocking every opportunity for Dignitas. A miss from Yukio. Violent Panda will try, and Fruity's up for the kill. Astral to the side. Farah now airborne to drop it into the ground, and Reciprocity. It takes them 5 games. 3 of them so close, but they win them all, and they will take the series.
And what a win for Reciprocity. They're coming in against Dignitas. The only team that was able to beat Dignitas was a reverse sweeping Vitality. So 2 tough Game 5 losses for Dignitas on the season, but I think they'll be pretty happy with how their league play ended up overall, only losing to Reciprocity and Vitality. That's not bad at all. But for Reciprocity, this was such a big win because they have struggled at times this season. Their offense hasn't been clicking at times. And they've also just struggled to put goals by you. Even think back to that Barcelona series where Devo stopped pretty much everything that Reciprocity put on net. But this time they hang in there, they hold strong, they get these wins, and it was due to their demo play and their bump play. We saw that make a difference in some very key moments in the series, notably that overtime where I think Fruity got the bump on Astral. He opened up the way for Chaussette to put the shot bar down, and then Chaussette returning the favor, getting a couple demos, opening up the only opportunity that we saw Reciprocity put in. It was the only goal of the game, but it was enough. So that was an entertaining series, but some very quality Rocket League, some high-level Rocket League, and Reciprocity is going to take the W.
Yeah, easily my favorite series of the day so far. That was only Reciprocity's second Game 5 this season. They also lost in Game 5, or they lost in Game 5 to Veloce, but won it here to end their season. Excellent stuff from them. We got 2 more matches to go before we are done. Mouse Sports going to be taking on Barca. Barca going to be looking to bounce back, and Mouse Sports looking to capitalize on what's a great week for them so far. How will it go? We'll find out after the break.